get it from me or if I can get it from him. And the second thing is I'm setting the list for the sports day, so you all can sign up. If you have any questions about anything, ask Magdalena, send her a message, find her because she organized it. Yeah. And I don't know what you're doing, what are you playing, but I know that we have prizes, so don't give up. You never know what you're gonna get. That's it for me.
Hey guys, also an announcement about the live auction tonight. So we've changed the locations to the Spider Hall at the dormitory again. Thanks to our wonderful team for arranging that in like 5 minutes for me. So after dinner or before, take a lovely shower, get ready, and get prepped. 8:30 will start. Okay, see you there.
All right, and then last announcement before we get started, there is that group over there, the basic future people are going to leave early. But if you are leaving early from GA, we need people from that country still here. So a whole country cannot leave. So if you are the only person representing your country and you're in that, you can't go. We're going to do roll call again after those people leave to make sure. Okay, great. So the chair calls the GA back to order at 1:09 Croatia time. So what we're gonna do now is go back to the point we were on, which is the presentation on the 68th IVSA Symposium in Morocco, and that discussion can continue. Okay, they want to do a roll call now, so we're going to do that instead.
Okay, when I say the name of your country, all of you, or maybe just a representative of you, can stand up and compliment me and tag. For example, Jackie, you are my sun and my stars, the light of my life. Tab, you are the most beautiful emojis that I've ever seen. Use your imagination. In your language.
Yeah.
Just me and Tab, and only compliments, no secret insults in other languages. I can say Algeria. That's not me or Tab. Was I not here? I'm gonna mark you out. IVSA Austria. Okay. Liebe Jackie, wir mögen dich sehr gerne und du machst einen wahnsinnig tollen Job. Tavishi, du bist so toll. IVSA Belgium.
I don't even know what I'm going to say. Okay, Jackie, je bent eigenlijk topper. Je bent super lief. En Tavishi, je ambitie is een inspiratie voor ons allemaal.
IVSA China.
我认为你非常性感，Jack，你非常漂亮 ，OK。
IVSA Croatia.
Do you need the microphone or
no? Jackie, ti si jako simpatična, draga, uvijek spremna za zabavu. Tavishi, fala što su sve privat s nama i nadamo se da ćemo i dalje ovako lijepo surađivati.
I agree. Don't push others.
IVSA Czech Republic. Tavishi, slunce, které dohlíží na všechny emoce.
Jackie, I'm trying to like go from English to Czech. Tvé oči jsou jako ty nejkrásnější studánky v lese a tvé vlasy jsou jako to nejdražší stříbro.
IVSA Denmark.
Tavishi, už tak vadil. Jackie, vládne McKenna.
IVSA Slovenia.
Dobra, dvakrát to úplně řekl jsem, nice.
IVSA Finland.
Could you?
Teillä on ilahduttava persoonallisuus ja teillä on upea tyyli.
IVSA France.
Jackie, Tavishi, vous êtes trop belle. Voulez-vous coucher
Avec moi.
IVSA Germany.
Jackie, du bist eine geile Sau. Und Tavishi walks in.
IVSA Ghana.
Hey Jackie. Oh, thanks so much. You're very nice.
IVSA Greece.
Jackie, Tavishi, bună vreme, este să se miaje corect,
IVSA Indonesia.
Waduh, Mbak Jacqueline karo Mbak Tavishi wayu nerek. And both of you are a great person. Thank you.
IVSA Italy.
Tavishi already knows. So Jackie and Tavishi, siete le ragazze più belle che io abbia mai visto.
IVSA Germany.
Jackie, je bent een prachtige persoon en echt een toplul.
Taaf, je bent zo'n schoonheid, je bent echt een verschrikkelijk lekker wijf.
IVSA Poland.
Jackie, bardzo lubię twoją fryzurę. Tavishi, zazdroszczę ci tego wiatraka za plecami.
IVSA Portugal.
Jackie, Tavishi, vocês são a luz dos meus dias e as estrelas das minhas noites.
IVSA Romania.
Jackie, este o adevărată plăcere la fiecare întâlnire plină de posibilitate, iar Tavishi este o rază de soare plină de compasiune și de lumineți cu bunătatea ta.
IVSA Stagma. IVSA South Africa.
So Rishi, if I look als ik in je work kijk, verloor ik mezelf. En Jackie, je hebt zo nog eens aan het steken.
IVSA South Korea. Jackie Kamishi, 힘내고 열심히 노력하기. IVSA Spain. A les dues, tant de bo, tinguéssim noies tan maques com vosaltres. IVSA Switzerland.
Jackie, du geile Hühle. Das wunderschönste Wetter auf der Erde. Amici, das ist so schön hier oben.
IVSA Taiwan. Jackie,
别想说了，卡比西，熊会节摩的，
IVSA Thailand. Jackie และทวีชีเป็นคนที่สวยที่สุดใน3 โลกเลย IVSA Tunisia. Jackie and Tavishi, smakelijk conversion, have conversion. IVSA Turkey.
Rishi, harika hissederim aslında çok yakışıyor. Jackie, saçsına bayıldım. Harikasın.
IVSA UK and Ireland. Jackie Amsterdam. Mokalabana, August Mogarja. Twa Kalina all leadership and one Greenwich Scots Nagluch, Natasha Amshel, August Tolgral, Agumship. It means you're wonderful people and I love you and the sun is always shining around. IVSA Latvia. IVSA Serbia.
Ok, Rishi, već sam ti rekao koliko mi se sviđaju tvoje oči, i izvini za ono padanje iz kolica neku noć. Ono što smo krali.
Jackie, you're simpatičan osmih i slatka si.
We have reached quorum at 59%. Thanks,
Okay, now for that very modest display. So back to what we were doing. So we're going to go back to the discussion on the presentation of the 68th IVSA Symposium in Morocco. There we go. And then after you guys are done discussing this, we can take the resolution off the table and discuss that. But for now, we can just discuss the presentation in general. Are there any questions, comments, things you'd like to say? Tina.
Me and I have some ideas to show you. I was a bit confused about the accommodation situation because they said that it would be free, but at the same time they said that they probably will not be able to.
You just take the microphone.
Okay, sorry. So they said that it would be free, the accommodation, but at the same time they said that not enough people would fit in the dormitory probably. So will the other accommodation be free as well? Of who's going to pay for it and what is it?
Thank you. Kirsten.
Kirsten Abraham, I is Austria. I was wondering, I think they said they already have, I think it was 61,000 euros. But nowhere it was stated where they have the money from, or if they have it, or if they assume they have it. I would really want to see some kind of spreadsheet, like where they have the money from.
Thank you. Christy?
Christina Almanzil, IVSA Greece. I want to ask about the accommodation as well. They said that it will be different places, so how they will find out who will stay where? I mean, who will stay in the dorms, who will stay in the hotels maybe, or hostels, and where and why will stay the lecturers who will come abroad, and why they have to stay in 5-star hotel.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, can I add something?
Sure.
And who will pay for that? I mean, we or the sponsors?
Okay, thank you. Lisa?
Lisa Beer, IVSA Netherlands. In the presentation, I mentioned previous exchanges. Perhaps some countries we've had exchanges with Morocco can just share their experiences so people have a better idea of what to expect.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here who has exchanged with Morocco? Do you want to talk about it? Sure, okay.
Mariana Suñer, IVSA Spain. We had exchange with Morocco last year. I think we didn't have any problem with the accommodation or transportation. It's true that they told us the transportation was free for the university. They had to just go there, ask for the transportation, and they took us. Actually, for our flight, they had to take us earlier than what they thought. So we had to go to the university, just ask for transportation early. We had a great experience with them. We don't have complaints, but it's true because of cultural differences, they don't have, they have these oral arrangements with people, and with the alcohol thing, they didn't drink at all. And we actually had a party which there was no alcohol. And we actually had a party just for women, because in some parties, they are not comfortable having both together. But we were just girls, so it was okay. And well, I think that's all.
Thank you very much. Did you want to speak on this as well?
Yes.
Come on, get her a microphone.
David Bish, IVSA Krakow, Holland. So we also had exchange with Morocco, and firstly, I would say that you were actually right about the cultural differences. So when we have cooperation with Morocco, we need to know that they think a little in different ways. So delays and this kind of stuff is quite normal there. So what I mean, that we have to really repeat them a couple of stuff, you know, again and again and again, because they organize stuff, as she said, like orally, they don't really write things down in solo notes, but this is just how they do it in Morocco. So we need to consider that. About the alcohol, I have different experience with that. We actually drank and we drank a lot, so in my opinion, you shouldn't be worried about that. I mean, actually, they even have bars, and well, it's different. You cannot maybe drink in public place, but in dorms or like in bars and this kind of stuff, you can. I think the best is just to ask directly in Morocco, because I think they know the best about that. But don't be that scared about that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Mary?
Hi, it's just a direct comment to that. So yes, exactly. You cannot, I guess it's the same as in Tunisia, you cannot drink outside, not like in the streets, but you can drink inside, indoors, and you can find clubs and bars and serve alcohol. And you can actually use Google to check that we're allowed to bring 1 liter of alcohol to you with you to Morocco. So you don't have to worry about drinking. You won't be able to drink. And about the rooms, it's just the way we do it. Like our dorms are separate, like based on sex. So it's just easier to do it the way they feel more comfortable. Like you will be able to stay together and you'll be able to drink. You don't have to worry about that. And just that.
Thank you. Anyone who hasn't spoken already that would like to speak?
Clean Wilson's IVSA in Belgium. In the presentation, he was talking about the fee for post-Congress, and he said something that it was going to be like $350 or something, and a part of that was going to go to Congress to pay for things. But is it okay to make people who go to post-Congress pay more so they can do things at Congress, and so they pay for everyone and not just for their own thing?
Thank you. Marta?
Marta Janasz, IVSA expert. So just from like IVSA side, we do not have any rules or regulations regarding post-Congress. It's not an event that has to take place, and there are no guidelines with regards to post-Congress. So it's up to the discretion of the OC. If they decide to use that as one of their fundraising projects, then they are allowed to do that. That is not something that we have the right to dictate or to discuss on, and it is your choice whether you want to attend post-Congress or not. So if you feel like you do not want to pay that money to contribute towards the Congress, knowing that a part of that money goes to the Congress, then it is your choice. But the post-Congress is not something that we have any say over.
Anybody else who hasn't spoken? Tristan?
I didn't get up to like speak about this. I'm trying to make a point of privilege because like I feel like I'm speaking for everyone here because like it's way too warm in here because I know the AC is broken and I know the OC team is doing everything that they can about it, but maybe we could all brainstorm for some more better solution because like 2 weeks in this atmosphere we're all gonna get sick. Like maybe we could do something about it. We already have 2 delegates from Taiwan having fever and they're not cooling down, and I really care about everybody. And I'm feeling physically sick as well.
Okay, thank you. The chairperson does not have a solution. All I'm supposed to tell you is it's noted and we will try. But we know we're hot too. They said you can move down here if you want. Well, if the people, it's much hotter up there. So if the people in the top, when it comes to down here, you can do that now or later. Yeah, we're gonna keep talking though while you do it because people are leaving soon. Anyone who hasn't spoken that wants to speak? No, Christy, go.
Almazida Cristina, IVSA Greece. About catering, it was 23,000 euros. And the lectures, they said that will be probably open for people who will not be hosted by the Congress, by the symposium, I'm sorry. So, in the catering, it's the coffee breaks, and it's the lunches, and it's the opening ceremony. And they said that the opening ceremony after lectures will be something with traditional food from Morocco. So all the people who will not be hosted by the Congress, by the symposium, they will eat from this event as well and from the coffee breaks, right? So we have to pay for them as well. Question.
Thank you for your question. It is noted. Does anyone other than Christy have something more to say? Yes, got one.
พัฒนาลีลาดกุล IVSA Thailand. I would like to know that
how the OC Morocco will handle the problem about the atmosphere, just like this, when there's something that they do not expect to happen. I would like to know about how they just have the solution or the strategy to handle all the problems.
All problems?
Not all the problems, just like problem about something. For example, something needs to be repaired.
Okay, did you get that? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Jordan? What's your name, Jordan?
Okay, John Negan, IVSA UK Ireland, IVSA Trust. I've officially run this past Tabishi already, so she's definitely up to date with my ideas, but I just thought I'd share with the GA anyways. So there's 17 GA hours already in the itinerary, and I think that Maddie should try and increase this to 20 hours, because when I was Secretary General at Symposium, we had 18.5, and it's really good to have more than less, basically, because even if we have more, and we end up finishing early, that's great, but we need to figure out if we're going to be running late or if there's going to be technical difficulties. We need more GA time to suss that all out. Then also the cultural evening is in combination with the traditional dinner. And I think it's important, like I know Mehdi was at cultural evening last year in Krakow, but just to emphasize what cultural evening is really like, and maybe move the traditional dinner to Tuesday evening where there's nothing really going on that night. That might be a good idea, or any other evening where there's nothing really going on. Also, the silent and live auctions on the itinerary are together, and for the DAD, this is incredibly difficult to run both at the same time, one after each other. So it would be good to separate those, and also that creates another evening where we've got something else to look forward to. But also, if people, like Charlotte mentioned last night, if people are already spending money on one auction, they're less likely to go spend more money again that evening. They're more likely to donate to the development fund later in the week. And that's it, really.
Thanks, Jordan. Okay, any other questions or comments?
My name is Kogo, IVSA Austria. I wanted to say to the cultural evening for dinner, I found it quite good that we had dinner right before cultural evening, so that we don't have happen what has happened this year, that quite a lot of people don't eat dinner and they get drunk. It doesn't have to be a traditional dinner, it could just be a dinner, just to kind of ensure that people eat something before they get shit-faced, basically.
Thank you very much. Noted, we want food. Okay, I know.
IVSA building, I have some questions, like concerns about like the OCT, because during the presentation, the speaker, he passed the slides very quickly when it came to the OCT, so I would like to know if you really know how it's coming, because my dad said something about 6 or 7 people, maybe 15. But I would like to know if we know how committed they are, and if it's really 6 people, or and how they are committed, because today we have no one from Morocco, and that came, so like the 6th person that said they would do something, or they already committed, so that would be my question.
Thank you.
And who they are.
Gotcha. Anyone who hasn't spoken, have a question or comment? No, Christian.
Kirsten Abraham, IVSA Austria. I also was wondering, so at the budget, they took a currency, like the exchange rate they currently have. But the problem is, as we know all, that exchange rate can differ. And I would really appreciate that they maybe take an exchange rate with, for them, it's like the worst case scenario and not the best one.
Tabishi.
Tavisha Pandya, IVSA Exco. Just to reply to the Chair about that, I spoke to Eddie last night, had a conversation about that, and he did do that. He actually consulted someone in finance to sort out the budget in terms of currency exchange, so that's fine.
Cool, thanks. Kylie. You've already spoken, Christy, settle down.
Kylie Small, IVSA Sabna. I don't remember if they included this, but he had mentioned a couple times that they were planning on getting income from lectures and the concert. Was that included in their budget, or would that just be extra on top of what they've already budgeted for in terms of the deficit?
Thank you. Daniel.
Daniel from Denmark, IVSA Exco.
That's not your real name.
Daniel, not IVSA Exco. So we will make sure that they do include that in their income. As of now, we do not know, but all of the points you bring up here, we will make sure to convey to Morocco, and both me and the next treasurer will make sure to help them as much as we can to ensure their financial success, or yeah, whatever.
Thanks, Daniel. From Denmark. Nina, also from Denmark.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Nina Schmidt, IVSA ex officio. Just concerned about public displays of affection and the LGBTQ community. How is that going to be accepted in Morocco?
Thank you. Noted. Anyone who hasn't spoken? It's all you, Christy. Take it away.
Almazili Christina, IVSA Greece, vaccination day. They said, I don't remember if it will be for free. So, first question about that. They said that it will be around 20 to 30 people in total, or per groups. And the second question, they said that they try to find places quite far away from the city center. Is that based in their total amount fee for the transportation as well? Which price for the transportation is 7,000 euros. Clear? I have to repeat something.
Yeah, was that clear? It's very clear.
I have one more question. Can I ask?
You're still standing, so go for it.
Yeah. About the mobile cards. 2 years ago in Malaysia, they gave us SIM cards, but as we know, there is some difficulties. For example, in Europe, we can't use any SIM card from other continent. So it will be useful for us. For example, in Greece, yeah, in my phone, I can use any other country's SIM cards. And before they gave us the cards, the SIM cards, they sent us an email and they asked us if we want to pay for the SIM card. Okay? Angel?
Yep, SIM card, got it.
Thanks.
Are there more questions or comments? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Because in Iran, IVSA also could maybe the ECTO explain to the GA what happens if this event gets cancelled, what the steps we have to take, what's happening then, and stuff like that.
Thank you. We will do it right after people leave, because it's 1:45, right? Okay, so the chair will entertain a motion to stand at ease. Dan.
You have to set discussion.
I'm waiting for you.
Daniel Lund, IVSA Exco, I so move.
Are there any objections? Hearing none.
Discussion first.
Discussion of what? Standing at ease. Okay, is there a discussion for that? Daniel?
Daniel Lund, IVSA Exco. Please, delegates, be aware that if everyone from your country is leaving, don't. Because it is important that you're still here for the voting afterwards.
Now are there objections to standing at ease? Hearing none where it is. If you need to go, go. Hey, also people at the top, now would be a great time to move, and there's a ton of free space, and it really is much cooler. So freeze, give it up, come down here. You love your window, stay. But it's nicer. Okay, you stay if you want to, you stay, we look happy. Italy, you can move as well. Come on down here. Thailand, if you're hot, come on down. Men's not hot, that are hot.
They're not gonna kill
Okay, hi guys. Is there any one of you that wants to go to the surgery, suture basics of basic sutures techniques? Because we have 4 people that are in flip-flops, and flip-flops are not allowed in the surgery. So yeah, if you have like a proper shoes, you can go, but in flip-flops, unfortunately not. They are strict. No one?
Okay, if you're going, please go. You gotta keep going.
That's not the way to exactly. And the reason why very like we don't have those walls in our efforts, we really don't have yeah, it's an I've never been to Europe. I wasn't been to Europe. And I've been told that just like things that you did, but I know you can also and I'm pretty sure you can find it as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to bring to like public places, but you will be able to take it or survive.
OC member, do you happen to know, do they all require closed-toed shoes or just the suture? Just that one? Just that one? Happy to mediate. Okay, we're gonna start again now that they're eased out. The chair calls the GA back to order at 1:47. Croatia time. You want a roll call again? Okay, we're gonna do a really quick roll call, make sure we didn't lose the country.
When I say your country's name, shout present as loud as you can so I can just. IVSA Algeria.
Shout
present as loud as you can when I say your country's name. IVSA Algeria. IVSA Austria. IVSA Belgium. IVSA China. IVSA Croatia. IVSA Czech Republic. IVSA Denmark. IVSA Estonia. IVSA Finland. IVSA France. IVSA Germany. IVSA Ghana. IVSA Greece. IVSA Indonesia. IVSA Italy. IVSA the Netherlands. IVSA Poland. IVSA Portugal. IVSA Romania. IVSA Samoa. IVSA South Africa. IVSA South Korea. IVSA Spain. IVSA Switzerland. IVSA Taiwan. IVSA Thailand. IVSA Tunisia. IVSA Turkey. IVSA UK and Ireland. IVSA Latvia. IVSA Serbia.
That was very fast. Okay. Well, we should have that every time. My favorite kind of roll call. Okay. So we're right back in the same discussion. To remind you, Kirsten just asked about how do we organize a special General Assembly? Is someone going to answer that? Like Magda. What happened? Let's help go organize GA.
All right, I'm not the honest, I did say expert. Okay, so we have a question of what happens if this event got cancelled. So basically the short answer is that there will be a special General Assembly. That's the short answer. What logistically would need to happen is, according to the bylaws, as far as I have it, there's no, but we can check with parliamentarians soon. It's not an inquiry just yet. Just exactly what the requirements are, but an SGA is only really called on when the hosts of the symposium will withdraw, basically. We can then, obviously the General Assembly supersedes everything, so we can then make a decision to force them to withdraw or to cancel the event on their behalf. But that would have to be the decision of the General Assembly. And that is something that is up for discussion if that is a discussion that you'd like to have. Like we said earlier, that EXCO still believes that we should continue with this symposium for the reasons mentioned earlier. And there are a number of other reasons that have come up with, that has been raised, like a number of other, a lot of questions that have been raised and a lot of responses that have been raised as well. So I think there are pros and cons to each of the two situations, and that is something that we can discuss, absolutely. But it's not something that we should be taking lightly. And there's a number of reasons for that, and one of the main reasons is the time. It's basically 6 months before the event, and putting up a special General Assembly could potentially be a disaster. It could work, but it could also be worse. So if that is a discussion you want to have, I plead to the GA to really think about this carefully. Do not just jump straight to having an SGA without considering all the options and considering all the possible solutions.
Okay. Any more questions or comments? Anyone who hasn't spoken already? Kirsten. Oh, all right.
Kirsten, IVSA Austria, could you explain what a special General Assembly is, what the points are, what they have to do, because that was actually the question. Not that I want to test that event, but they take it.
Tanisha, would you like to answer?
Speech from the IVSA, so I would like to respond by asking parliamentary inquiry. Could you just read out the factors that the Special General Assembly has to provide for?
Okay, so the mention of Special General Assembly bylaws is, in the case of cancellation, the EXCO in office at the time the conference or symposium was due to be held will convene a special session of the General Assembly to replace the General Assembly that was lost due to the event being canceled. Since it is a special session, the requirements that I read earlier don't count. It is special. It is up to EXCO to decide how. Basically, all the things that the GA normally approves will fall to EXCO to decide and make happen.
Any more questions? Vincenzo.
Vincenzo Gaeta, IVSA Italy. I want to make just point of the situation because there was some years ago as an SGA, and actually right now, if we find if we have a lot of difficulties to organize a symposium in time, like 1 year before, is there any MO that is like it can host an SGA, can organize an SGA, can found sponsors in less than 6 months, 4 months? Yeah, that's my observation about that. So I think going to SGA could be even more difficult.
Thank you. You can hand it back. Crystal, you can talk.
So now have you say friends? I would just want to know for the special general assembly. I don't know if it's not settled, but is it only for EXCOs, or do you still want to like invite more delegates from other countries, not only the EXCOs?
Okay. It's up to EXCO to decide whether the event becomes a full event or not. So if it can't be organized, EXCO can just make the decision. But if it can be organized, it would be. So that's what happened the previous time. SABMA hosted the SGA. It was difficult but possible to be organized in 6 months, and there was a full event with international delegates. Is it directly related?
Martha Janos, IVSA EXCO. It is true what Perry said, but just keep in mind that when a special general assembly gets organized, you still need to reach quorum. You still need to have a general assembly. So then that would be up to you and your MOs to attend either virtually, online, somehow, or in person. And that could be difficult to reach quorum. And that if you do not reach quorum, then absolutely no decision.
Thank you. Anybody who hasn't spoken? No, Jordan.
Jordan Egan, IVSA UK and Ireland, IVSA Trust. I just wanted to add to the discussion about sponsorship. For a normal symposium congress, sponsorship, it says in the bylaws sponsorship should be secured 120 days before the event is due to start. And I believe with the SGA with North Carolina, they did secure that sponsorship for the 120 days before the event was due to start. I'm looking at Brandon.
Of the OC from the SGA with us. So, Hannah, why don't you?
Yes, Hannah Lee Barnell, IVSA SAMA. I'm from the OC from North Carolina from the SGA. Brian Jocums and Brandon are also, and then we have a couple of people who attended. I know Kristen and Vincenzo, and Perry and Jackie. I'm not naming everyone, I just did, I think, anyway, that's sort of. Okay. The question was about can it be done? And Perry answered part of it already. Yes, it was maybe 3.5 months. But with the caveat that we have a giant AVMA organization and a lot of support. So it can be done, but we had special circumstances and it was a lot of work in a short period of time. And I did get some feedback during lunch today about how it went for some of the members. I mean, uncensored feedback, but it was a good event. There were not that many hiccups that we could control, like the weather, but otherwise, what? State of emergency because we have an inch of ice. But otherwise, yeah, it can be done. And we had a team of about 12, I think, OC members. So that is also required to have a lot of like infantry support.
Thanks, Hannah. Anybody who hasn't spoken that would like to speak? Christy.
If there is no sponsors at all, the fee is, we said, $3 per person. We will be like 120 delegates. So they will have from us 42,000 euros. It is possible to have less days, I mean, not 11 or 10 for the symposium, for example, like 5. And I don't know, just cancel the vaccination day, the catering stuff they want to do, and after the lectures, actually all the things that not including as much like GAs, lectures and workshops. And is it possible to have less than 120 delegates, which is not a good idea at all, but it happens.
Thank you. Daniel.
Daniel on IVSA Exco. Firstly, I would like to point out that even though the maximum fee is 350 per delegate, it's 350 including CF tax. CF tax is 8%, so the final fee Morocco will get per delegate is 324.06 euros.
Daniel, technically, we changed that
Yeah, it's not included.
bylaw amendment. I wrote it.
Yeah.
Now the CF tax is in addition added on to the fee, that are taken out of the fee specifically for this reason. Why are there so many hands? Elwin.
I'll stand up. Sorry. I just throw everything over when I stand up because it's usual. Okay, I'll know what happens in the Netherlands. To answer some of the things that were said, we can't have a symposium any shorter than 7 nights and 8 days according to bylaws. For the minimum amount of people, there is nothing on it. So you could technically have it with less, except that we need minimum out of that if it's there actually reach port. Then, on the maximum fee, we voted on it 350, excluding CF tax. And I think that's it for myself.
Thank you. Lisa.
Your IVSA notes. So by now we've collected quite a lot of questions for the organization in Morocco. Would you be able to get a reply from them before we make this decision on this?
Yes. Tabishi.
Usually down here, so I've just sent him the list of questions that we typed up as we were speaking. He's okay to call, so can I do that? All right, give me a minute. That's Carl.
No, the person said that you couldn't like put something brainstorm.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so hi guys. The first question was from Lisa, who was asked what should change since symposium in South Korea. So what we could accomplish is that we remove all costs regarding accommodation for delegates. So the cost for accommodation for delegates is nothing. for lectures is the thing that is seems to be causing some confusion, and I will answer that later on because there have been questions about that. So we have reduced the fees for accommodation. We have cut down from the costs of traveling and transportation. We have cut down from the costs from all the other costs, the things that are under other costs. But the thing is, you can't see that very well in our current budget because we had to increase the cost for the formal dinners. So our plans changed, and that's why you can't really see that very well. But overall, I think all of our costs were, like, we brought them down by about 20% each. But you can't really see that, and it's a little bit hard to see. Apart from that, there's another question from IVSA Germany. List of sponsors and how much are they expecting? So we have compiled a list of sponsors, and we have 54 names, like sponsors that we are trying to contact for financial support. And then we have 6 names that we're going to contact for in-kind donations. Mainly food companies like for water, coffee, tea, soda, all this stuff. The thing is with in-kind donations is that for coffee and tea and water, basically gonna have them. They're still accounted for in the catering budget. So as soon as we have them, the catering budget is gonna go a little bit down. For other sponsors, so we have we make sure that our offer starts at 700 euros and it goes up until 6,000 euros. And we made offers like that were to us like they seem really attractive. We try to make good use of PR potential, like websites, the fact that the TAs and like textures and everything is going to be streamed live. So yeah, we can expect a lot of good stuff from our sponsor, even though we don't really have anything yet. But we're still like we expect some really good feedback in the next couple of months. Next question is Ellen. She said SIM cards weren't mentioned in the budget, and VC mentioned that it was with the other costs, and it's true. So the SIM cards will cost us 1,200 euros, which is way less than what we would have paid for Wi-Fi and SIM cards you can have on your phone and you can have them anywhere. So that's good quality internet, like the best you can get in Morocco, and you can have it everywhere. Christy said that lectures from abroad were the OCs. Yes, so the cost for the lectures from abroad is that well, we will pay for food, transportation, and accommodation, and we will have spots with you guys on the cultural and optional activities. So far, we haven't really decided to budget the flight tickets, but as one of our sponsors we're going to be talking to is the air company. We might expect something like that. And the reason we haven't talked to them yet is because we can't talk to them because we're also trying to find some way to reduce the flight tickets for African delegates because those are really, really, really high even though one lives in Africa. And they're probably going to pay 10 times what European delegates will have to pay for. So we're trying to grasp the good idea about how many African delegates we have, and then we will engage them with all that we need. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so Kathy said how many of the OC? So the pictures you saw in the OC are just the 10 for members, the committee heads that we have. So these are the committee heads. There are 5 other people that were just in the committees. I just didn't have time to put their slides and everything because I had to modify them late last night. But we have 15 people currently on the OC, and next year by application period, so that we can recruit more IVSA members. Surely we're going to be adding some of them to the OC as well.